Thundercats roar!
If you're out of the loop, a Thundercats reboot was recently announced, and it's a comedy that looks like this. Seem familiar? This strangely aligns with what I said in my most recent video.
Sounds kind of funny, right? Back in the day they altered shows to be action, and now they're altering action shows to be comedies.
This reboot is causing a huge uproar because people seem to think it disgraces the Thundercats franchise. And you know what? They're sorta right? I want to be fair to this show, but at the same time I can't conceive at all why Thundercats of all things was chosen for this. Why didn't they just make an original series? It's probably the nostalgia value. This is an established franchise, so people familiar with it would be attracted to this reboot. Except they aren't, because this series is a completely different thing from what it was before. It's a comedy now, because comedy is what sells. And you know what? That isn't a bad thing at all. There's so many comedy cartoons now, but they're also drastically different. Think about it. Steven Universe and Teen Titans Go are comedies, but aside from that genre comparison, they're completely different shows. At their core, all these shows are comedies, and all these shows are intended for children. Executives greenlight these projects because they see the numbers and think the product is profitable. Then the actual artists in charge of making the show try their best to make it unique, special, and entertaining. For example, the Lego Batman movie. You know why that movie was made? Because the original Lego movie made a lot of money, so the studio requested a spin-off. And instead of half-assing it, the team behind the movie put in exceptional effort and made it both a pleasant superhero parody and a story about family and friendship. On the other hand, shows like Teen Titans Go don't take that extra effort and are just filled with easy, lowbrow humor and weirdly inserted fetish stuff. Like, how did they get away with it? The show is meant for kids, and it's up to the crew to make it go beyond that. Maybe it won't, maybe it will. You need to give it a chance first. I still agree and understand that yes, this reboot is on the wrong side of the modern cartoon spectrum when compared to the original series. It's really weird, but oh well. They used the Thundercats name for nostalgia value, but clearly took the series in the wrong direction. So if you're a fan of the original series and don't want to accept this change in style, you know what you can do? Just don't watch it. This series isn't meant for you. It's as simple as that. You hate it so much you don't want your kid to watch it? Then don't let them watch it. If it gets no views and no attention, it'll go away. So if that's what you want, then ignore it. Go watch something else you can enjoy. Don't be incredibly rude and disrespectful to the people working on this reboot. They're just doing their job. They're hopefully making the show a little bit more than a simple by-the-numbers cash grab. I mean, just look at the intro. That's some genuine effort and passion right there. Maybe it's not stylistically appealing, but it's still creative. Again, this show is meant for modern-day kids. This visual style and humor is what kids are entertained by now, and it's way better than the they're watching on YouTube. And heck, if kids find this reboot entertaining, maybe it will convince them to check out the previous iterations of the show. An interest in this show might turn into an interest in the franchise, and that could spur the return of a more traditional Thundercats series. You never know. Maybe they're destroying your childhood, but in doing so, they're creating a childhood for kids of this generation. Plus, the old show still exists. Nothing is being destroyed. If anything, it would only be destroyed if they acted like this wasn't a reboot. So just give it a chance. It may not be Thundercats, but it could be something fun. It depends on what the crew behind it wants to do. If you can't get over how it's disgracing the series, then please ignore it. Spreading hate does nothing but upset people. Maybe go around and promote how good the original show was without comparing it to this one and politely get people interested. Because being rude and hateful does nothing positive. That's about all I have to say on this. Thanks for watching.